Welcome to another edition of OnSide SA, and Budge and I in the studio. It's a public holiday today. Coming up this weekend, international football. So those of you on the last one standing, there's 161 of us left. Budge, no game this weekend, but it's got to the stage where they're going to fall like 10 pins now.
Well, Paul, let's hope so, but we just don't want, obviously, a carry-over to the next season, but it gets tougher.
Can't happen, Budge.
Yeah,
Can't happen.
So.
You know what? The big teams
Six
have all
more
been
weeks to go, Paul. Now there'll be, the views are big,
how many
boys.
games left?
No, there's several midweek games, but...
okay, we might have to incorporate them, Budge.
Yeah, we'll see, Paul. We'll
see
let
how we're
everybody
doing,
know,
yeah. But 161 left, so nothing this weekend. We've got some Euro football, but very interesting.
Yeah. And the CAF, Paul, AFCON this weekend,
Absolutely.
big game for Bafana. And they play in Tunisia, even though they are playing Libya. The game's been played in Tunisia. So we need a draw to get through. Let's hope the boys can do so.
Let's hope they can do it. So, okay, we're going to have Stevie B. Stevie B's at home and a bit under the weather health-wise, but they're going to put Stevie on the line any moment for us, and Budge and I can talk to him. Steve, are you on yet?
Yep, morning.
Morning, Steve.
Morning, Steve.
Yeah. There's going to be a slight delay because we're using the mobile as public holiday, but we will be talking to Steve. Right, let's just, Budge, Champions League. You want to speak to Steve about...
Yeah, Steve, I know your boys Juventus have sneaked through. How do you see the draw working out? They've done the quarterfinal, semi-final at the same time. Who have you got in the final?
Well, I mean, I don't like the idea that they do them all at the same time because it takes away that element of surprise after the draw stage. But, I mean, my tip for the last four were City, Liverpool, Juventus and Barcelona. And as things work out, that could still be the last four. So, beyond that, you could turn any team. I think that... I think Juventus is still going to be a hard team to beat. I think they had a shot at Madrid, but they came through that, and I think that they're going to be pretty determined.
Steve, we're battling to get you. You're coming and going. We're getting you in stages here. I don't know if it's because we're using the mobile line, the public holiday, or what, but we're going to try and keep trying to get to hear you because Budge and I are struggling to get you. But from what I could garner, you said Liverpool, Barcelona, Juventus, and Man City would be the four that go through.
But that's my thinking, and I haven't quite changed that. But look. Tottenham and United pulled off, to me, shocks last time. They weren't expected necessarily on form, although Dortmund had fallen away. So, we know anything could happen. But I think if you were looking at the big four, to me, those are the big four.
Yeah. Can you see Tottenham upstaging Man City? Because just looking at it, Steve, I think of all the games, I think that's the one that's got closest to an upset. I just don't see Ajax upsetting Juventus.
I think because, if you looked on paper and on current form, you would say no. But the only thing is, and we've seen this over many years, is that when there's an all-British game, an all-English game, sometimes the result doesn't always pan out as you expect because Pochettino may find a way to nullify for the City over the two legs. Liverpool beat City. So you just think, on paper, you expect City to win, but that might be a game they don't really want to play. Because, teams don't always like to play another team from their own country.
Steve, unfortunately, the line is not working. I cannot, and Budgie cannot work out what you're saying. It's not your fault. Every now and then you come clearly, and then it goes off, and I really can't respond. We might have to abort this and try and get you again. But just for the time being, Steve, we're just not getting you. So if we do cut you off, we're trying to reset the line because all our fans won't be hear what you're saying.
Do you want to try on the other line, on the landline?
Okay, I'll get them to try on the landline. In the meantime, we'll keep rolling, Budge, and I'll get Sherwin, the producer, to try on the landline. Thanks, Stevie. We'll try to get back to you in the next minute or two. Yeah, unfortunately, Budge, we are not being able to hear him on the mobile. The landline might be clearer, and that's where, if Sherwin can get him on the landline. Yeah. Right, our producer's going to try and get Stevie on, but let you and I talk about the four. Obviously, I'm hoping for Tottenham, but Man City have had their number lately, you know. We have beaten them before, but we have been good in the Champions League.
Yeah. And also, this is the one that Man City won. Guardiola was brought in to win the Champions League. So this is the pressure one, Paul, you know.
Yeah.
I just got to, of all the games, I don't see United beating Barcelona. I can't see Porto upsetting Liverpool. I think Juventus will have too much experience for Ajax, even though Ajax can play.
Yeah.
But Tottenham is the one, Paul. That's the Tottenham Man City.
This game is on the 9th, Budge.
Well, I think you'll be there.
I'll be there. And this game is at the new stadium.
The new stadium.
So it
should be
I will be there. I think it's the third. My first game, the opening game is I will be there with Charlie Pigram.
Okay. So is that Crystal Palace at home?
Yes, Crystal Palace at home.
Okay.
I'm going to that game to see the new stadium. I'll get some good footage for the show. Ken Moby sent me a great footage.
Yeah, I know. He sent it to me too.
Of the goal.
Just a
good position.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Thanks, Ken Moby. And any of you guys out there that are at these games in the UK or in the South African games here, just send us a video clip. We'll air them. They're fantastic. And we've got some good ones over the years from Michael Aboud, from Charlie Pigram, from Ken Moby.
Kevin Donald, my man.
Kevin Donald, your man.
Yeah.
So, Budge, that's the Champions League. Quarterfinals, 9th and 10th and 16th and 17th. Semi-finals, April...
The 30th and the 1st, and then obviously the 3rd.
Yeah, 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
They go back at the end of the month, the clocks.
Yeah, end of next weekend.
End of next week, they go back 1 hour. Okay, so that's the story there. Now, let's have a look at the betting. Would you take 23-10 about Man City?
No.
All right, I believe Mr. Nkunu has got Stevie on the line. Steve, are you there?
Yeah.
That sounds a bit better, Steve. Thank you. I thought you were in an aquarium earlier. But well done, Stevie. You there?
I can hear you.
Stevie, you there?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, just speak up again. It's a quiet
Steve,
line.
we're just discussing the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Of all the 4 quarterfinals, Tottenham upsetting Man City, is that the closest one to an upset you can see?
Well, I think there could be. I mean, you don't know a team like Ajax. You don't know what you're going to get from them. I mean, they obviously played with no fear at all at Madrid. So, but I think over 2 legs you expect the big 4 to go through. But I think, as we said before, City won't necessarily want to play an English team over 2 legs because.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not coming through, Stevie. Unfortunately, the fault's at our side. Definitely not your side. We've got a mobile. Let's say it's public holiday. We aren't going through switchboard. We're going through a mobile, and it's not coming through clearly. Budge and I are both struggling to understand you. So, Steve, again, we might have to abort, and unfortunately, the problem is on our side.
That's a shame. Look, no worries. These things happen.
Thanks, Stevie. Thanks very much. We'll speak to you next week. But a pity we can't speak to Steve.
Pity. He's always got his finger on the pulse.
So he knows exactly what's going on, does Stevie. So unfortunately to the Steve's fans out there, we won't be getting much more than that garbled bit we got earlier. So sorry about that. But as I say, public holiday and things happening and load shedding and whatever you. Let's go back on to betting. 23-10, 33-10 Juventus, Barcelona 7-2, Liverpool 4-1. I'm not big on Juventus.
No, neither am I. I just think if they get Man City, Paul, that looks like the one semi-final to me.
Yes.
Unless Spurs can upset it. But they're very, I've watched them quite a few times. I watch Ronaldo and Messi every weekend. But they're a clever team, Paul.
Yeah.
Defensively, they sound.
That's it.
Them and Liverpool, Paul, best 2 defences by street.
Yeah.
But I've been on Barcelona. I think they'll roll United. It'll be a good game with Liverpool.
Are you confident United can't put up a challenge there?
Paul, I just, remember PSG didn't have Neymar or Cavani. If they got Messi, and Suarez, I watched him the other week. I know Messi got the hat-trick, but Suarez was his old self. Paul. He was outstanding. So that's
the question I've got to put to you is if you were going to be in this draw, would you rather play at home first or away first?
6-1. I'd rather play away first, Paul.
I'd rather play away last because it's the away goal counts.
Sure.
So if Barcelona came into town and just say they won 1-0, beat Man United, they're expected to a Messi goal or whatever, they go into town, a bit of Pogba magic or something, and suddenly it's an away goal.
Yeah.
Each or
United would have to win 2-1 to go through. Because the team with the most away goals goes through.
Yeah. No, you're right. You've got to get it right. But we've seen in the quarterfinals.
United, Liverpool, yeah.
Yes, come through from that.
Well, you've got to win. You've got to beat everybody.
So no one's taking Porto at 80s.
No,
they're all Champions League winners, aren't they?
Yeah, with Mourinho.
Mourinho.
They beat United. That was his claim to fame.
All right, FA Cup semi-final draw. Now this has got Man City could have been out if they had VAR.
Yeah.
Man City would probably have been out. VAR. Brighton, they should have been out.
Yeah,
they can. So the two who should have been out on locking horns.
Yeah,
6th of April. And then Watford Wolves, another interesting game.
That'll be a good game, Paul. You know, Wolves deserve to get to the final. Yeah, they beat Liverpool, they beat Man United, and they beat United easily, Paul.
Yeah.
You know, so deserve good manager. You know, they should be Man City Wolves, Paul.
What type of program have Man City got now, Budge? Because they're in everything.
They're in everything, yeah.
Because they 1-3 to win this, and when you look at it, you think, shoo. Every day of the week, you'll beat them to beat Wolves or Watford and Brighton.
Yeah. Well, they've got the two I think they play Spurs 3 times in 2 weeks.
Do they?
Got them in the league.
That's right.
So they haven't really had a good squad, but they'll be playing Wednesday, Saturday. Because they've got a big squad, Paul. So you don't have players knocking on the door asking why not playing.
But you don't want injuries. You don't want injuries.
Well, Aguero goes down, Paul. They'll be in trouble.
Is he that good?
Yeah, he's the main man. Yeah.
Okay, let's go and have a look at the Europa League because you have got our boys Chelsea and Arsenal there. Yeah. Arsenal versus Napoli.
It'll be a humdinger, Paul.
Humdinger, eh?
Good team, Napoli.
Villarreal, Valencia.
Yeah, Spanish derby. Yeah.
Benfica, Eintracht Frankfurt. Yeah. And then Sparta Prague, Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, Chelsea.
11th and 18th of April, 2nd and 9th of May, the semi-finals.
It's just a Thursday, the same week as the Champions League now.
Can our boys go through?
I think, Arsenal got a problem because Napoli are a good team.
Okay, Napoli a good team. Okay, well the betting is this: Chelsea 18-10. They haven't covered themselves in glory in the last month.
Yeah.
You know, then you got Napoli, as you say, a good team, 7-2. Arsenal 9-2. Valencia, any good on their day?
Yeah, they've unbeaten them at the last 14, Paul. The game
8-1.
Yeah.
10-1 Eintracht. Benfica.
There's a funny story about Benfica. There's a guy called Bela Gutmann. The last time they won
James Goodman.
They won 1965. They won the European Cup. He was promised a 10,000, I think it was bonus, and he never got it. So he put a curse on the team. He said, for 100 years, you will never win a European trophy.
Unless I'm paid.
They've got 7. They've been to 7 finals, lost all 7.
James Goodman's put the curse on them. So but why did they pay him?
Well, that was
pro rata.
They just said, no, you're not getting your 10,000 bonus. So that's why I like Benfica. I think they're a danger. It's a good bet at the price.
They're cursed.
But
Goodman's got them. Goodman's got them. And Sparta Prague 40-1.
Well, they beat the team. I went for Sevilla. I watched both games. Paul, they can't defend, but do they have a go? Czech Republic team, yeah.
Okay.
Scored 2 goals in extra time to get through.
There's been some good players come out of the Czech Republic over the years. Whew. So there we go, eh?
They have a full go.
That's what football's all about. But some of the top teams in Britain now, they have a go.
Got to have a go, Paul.
I've always liked Howe. He's had a go, He's had a go. You want these teams, the Mourinho teams, just before he packed up, they were very defensive for him.
Another one. Or too tactical.
Van Gaal, and who's the boy who's in the championship now from Stoke era and West Brom?
Tony Pulis.
Pulis, defensive.
Defend first, attack less. Yeah.
Right, let's talk about the Euro Championships. Very important. Are these teams trying to qualify?
No, this is the first game of the group stage, Paul.
First game. Okay, so we've got it.
These are the games. We'll go on to the main games now. But that was the games I wanted to ask Steve. Yeah, those games. Those are majority of them are televised. So we've handpicked the ones.
England, Czech Republic, be a good game?
Well, that's Friday, Paul. England got a lot of good youngsters coming through, Paul.
Yeah, a good team.
So it should be a good game. It's on.
It's on, eh?
Yeah. England are short, so I didn't put it in the betting, Paul. England are too short.
Who will he start up front? Kane?
He'll play Kane.
Man City boy, what's his name?
Sterling.
Sterling.
And I think you never know. He's saying Hudson-Odoi. I don't believe that. Depends if Dele Alli's there.
Of course, Dele's looking sharp. I saw the training.
Yeah, so they've got
Dele, and then across the middle.
He'll play Henderson. It just depends what he does in the midfield because he played Lingard and somebody else and
goalie.
The goalie,
Everton.
Well, it'll be Pickford, I would imagine.
Not my man.
The only other guy is the guy from Burnley.
What's his name?
Tom Heaton.
Yeah, he's a very good goalie.
So you'll play 5 at the back. The usual 3 centre halves, 2 wing backs.
Who would the 3 centre halves be?
It'll be Kane, Stones, and more than likely Walker. And he'll play
Who's Kane?
Sorry, not Kane.
Maguire.
Maguire, sorry.
Maguire, yeah, another Harry.
Yeah, and
Another
left back will more than likely could be the Spurs boy.
Rose.
Yeah,
And
right
then
back
right
will be
back?
the Spurs boy as well.
Trippier.
Middle of park, he'll play 2. It depends, he chopped and changed in the World Cup. It'll be Henderson. Just don't know who he's going to play alongside him. They haven't really got many major quality or good midfield players. So it'll be Henderson, A another, and 3 up front. Yeah.
Okay, Sweden, Romania.
Yeah, I think it's a good game, Paul. Sweden have done well. I like them. In the World Cup, they got the quarterfinals. England beat them. I think 7 to 10 is in our bets, Paul. Romania, they did well in the Nations League, but they're in the C division. I think Sweden will have too much for them.
Okay, I've got them up here. So let's go back to the top game.
The
But
top game,
Georgia,
Switzerland are going well.
6 to 10.
Yeah, but Georgia, it'll be a tight game. Shaqiri's not playing, and he's the main man there. It's Switzerland in a draw for me there, Paul. I wouldn't be taking 6 to 10, but Switzerland in a draw in that game.
Malta and the
Malta
Faroe
played the
Islands.
last 32 home qualifiers. They haven't won.
Home qualifiers.
Haven't
so
won.
they murder she wrote.
Got murder she wrote, but the Faroe Islands haven't got the greatest of records either. The last time they played, they drew 1-1. So I think there'll be goals in that. They're the worst 2 in the group. So you expect them to have a full go there. Draw a big player for me.
Okay,
there, Paul.
Italy.
Got to fancy Italy. Mancini's taken over, the ex-Man City manager. They
Is
should
he,
have
is
enough.
he the boss of Italy now?
They didn't qualify for the last World Cup. Now, Finland are a Finnish team. The guy, Timu Pukki, the guy who's the top goal scorer in the championship, he plays for them. But you got to think Italy would beat Finland.
They're trying to reinvent
They're trying
themselves.
to rejuvenate the team.
They had the ex-Chelsea boss before.
Yeah, they've had them all, yeah. But, they've been struggling, haven't had a centre forward. So we'll see what happens in these qualifiers. And Bosnia should be too good for Armenia.
Yeah,
Hard
they
to
should be
beat at
too
home,
good.
Bosnia.
All right, let's look at the next sheet.
Now, the second page is the Sunday games. I like Wales. They won 1-0 last night. They beat Trinidad and Tobago. They
Was
scored.
that a European?
It was a friendly. It was a friendly. So Bale and Ramsey and them were all rested. I think 11 to 10 pulls in our bets. I think they'll be too good for Slovakia. But they've got Marek Hamsik, the Napoli player, boy with spiky hair. But I like Wales at home, Paul. Hard to beat there. Kazakhstan, Russia, well...
I wonder if they can put that board up. I'm battling to read it. If you can put the board up for us closer so the public can see. Thank you. Thanks very
Kazakhstan,
much.
Russia, you've got to fancy Russia 6 to 10. They never lose to Kazakhstan.
No.
Hungary, Croatia. Now,
Croatia,
a
great
good
run.
team. But they've a couple of new players come in, Paul. They're battling up front, according to the manager. So, but Hungary at home, Paul. Hard to beat at home. I think there'll be goals, but you've got to fancy Croatia, the two teams. Your man... Carl Lafferty's back with Northern Ireland, Michael O'Neill's team.
Put him down for a goal.
Belarus, 8 to 10, Paul. They're in our bets. I like Northern Ireland at home. And the big game, Netherlands, Germany. I watched Germany last night. They drew 1-1 with Serbia. A lot of young players. Going forward.
The Netherlands have improved. They've beaten
Koeman's taken over. They beat them 3-0 in an earlier Nations League game. 14, but there's so much hatred in between these two nations, Paul.
Is that right?
Oh, well, remember the 74 Cup final with Neskins and Cruyff?
Yeah.
So it's been bad blood for years between them.
Yeah.
But I think there'll be goals in that, but you've got to fancy Netherlands. The Germans at the back are terrible.
So these are the selected games you've picked out.
And we have teams of 1 to 7 and 1 to 33. It's not going to help anybody in that.
That's right,
those odds.
Now, AFCON. That AFCON qualifier is very interesting.
But it's the last game, Paul.
So you better tell me who's going through, who's not, who must win.
13 teams are already qualified, but there's some big games. Now, Burundi need a point to go through. But Gabon have got that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's in the team, so he's playing.
The Arsenal boy.
The Arsenal boy.
He's a good player.
He's a good player. So he's the trick to the whole thing. Draw naturally a player, but the longer it goes, it'll be end to end.
Yeah.
Burundi, I'd hate to see what the pitch looks like, but don't be surprised if Gabon grab them. Now, the next game, Egypt are the hosts, and they've already qualified.
The only team without... No, they're qualified.
They've already qualified, but Mo Salah's not playing, so they're going to rest all the key players, and they're going to take a young team, according to the reports. Niger at home, not the worst of teams. I can see a bit of an upset there, Paul. Maybe Niger in the draw. They're in our bets. It was a good price.
So,
without Mo Salah...
The top two Egyptian teams...
El Ali and Zamalek.
They're good sides.
Yeah,
good sides,
Yeah, and their hosts, obviously, they're going to be looking for their squad, but with all the big European games...
Yes.
I think they'll rest their main players and play a younger team. So I went for an upset there, Paul. Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique. Now, we backed Mozambique to beat them in an earlier group game. What a game, 2-2.
Okay.
You know, Guinea-Bissau need a draw to go through. Mozambique have to win.
Oh, it'll be a great game.
So I think that game's on.
Saturday, 6:30.
6:30, yeah. So it'll be end to end, Paul. Now Zambia are out. You know, they've got good home form, but away from home they've been terrible. Namibia need a draw to go through.
Oh, tough game.
Tough game, you know. But Zambia at home, Paul, they're hard to beat. 16-10. I like that. Ghana, Kenya. Now your man plays for Spurs as a captain of Kenya, the midfield player.
For Spurs?
For Spurs, yeah, the big, strong midfield player.
What's his name? Oh,
I'll get his name now.
Yeah.
But,
Wanyama.
Wanyama, yeah.
Wanyama,
He's not playing, they're resting him.
Keep him
So,
for Spurs.
you know, Ghana as well. You know, Ghana are going to rotate their players. They've both gone through. So, just skeptical.
Kenya through?
Yeah, Kenya, they've both gone through. Sierra Leone were in it, but they got disqualified.
Okay,
so
let's
they've
have a
both
look here.
automatically
So
gone
bring it
through,
up again, guys.
Onto the that's the Saturday. Onto the second page now. The next two games, Paul, the group's up for grabs. Congo at home, I think, will be too good for Liberia. They've got to win Congo.
Yeah.
But they've got Yannick Balassi, Bakumbu. They've got a lot of good players in their team. Liberia need a point to have half a chance, but I don't see that. Now, Zimbabwe are top. If they get a draw, they'll go through. But Congo also got some of these players you've never heard of, Paul. Open game. Don't be surprised, you know, if there's an upset in one of in the Zimbabwe-Congo game. As much as I hope Zimbabwe goes through because they've got a lot of our players. Benin-Togo. Benin need a point to go through. Togo have to win. I like Benin. They've won their last few at home against some decent teams. 11-10 Benin for me there, Paul. Cape Verde have to beat Lesotho. If they don't beat them, they're out. They can't qualify. So 5-10 are in our play. I think Cape Verde will murder Lesotho. The worrying game for me, Paul, is Libya, South Africa. I watched Libya play Nigeria. They lost 3-2. Nigeria had their full team. It was end to end. I just hope we don't go there and try and
what type of team have we got? Have we got all our boys from all over coming back?
Yeah, they're all
Percy
coming.
Tau?
They're all coming back. Dolly's back. They're all back.
Tau, they're all back, eh?
You know,
we need them.
Well, we've got to have it, Paul. We can't sit back. I think there'll be goals in it because they'll be open to the counter-attack. A draw,
we just need a draw.
Just need a draw. Yeah.
If we lose, are we out?
We're out, yeah. Well, we drew 0-0 in the Seychelles. If we'd won that, we'd have been through. But,
can you believe it? Eh?
Big game for us, Paul.
Yeah, massive game. Eh? So that's very interesting. Okay, but let's go to our bets this weekend. And starting off with the soccer six, Bud.
Yeah, it's the AFCON and Euro qualifier. I've gone the field in the Burundi-Gabon game.
Rightly so.
Likewise, the Guinea-Bissau-Mozambique game. I've banked Sweden to beat Romania. I've put the field in there because I think they're going to rotate their teams, Ghana and Kenya, because they're both qualified. So I've gone the field, Ghana, Kenya. I think Italy will be too good for Finland. And likewise, I think Spain will be too good for Norway.
Yeah,
162.
I agree with you. Okay.
And the second one is the League One. You know, there's 10 games in the League One. I've gone AFC Wimbledon to beat Gillingham.
So just stop for a moment. AFC Wimbledon, who played?
That's Millwall. That's the same team that played Millwall in the FA
1-0.
They lost 1-0.
Yes, okay, got you.
So they were second. They were tailed off. They won their last 3 games in a row. So I think they'll be too good for Gillingham. I've gone the field in a desperation game, Bradford City against Blackpool. I think Coventry had a good run lately. It'll be too good for Oxford. Luton Town are top, but they play Doncaster Rovers, who are a bit of a bogey team. So I've gone Luton Town win and draw at home against Doncaster. Likewise, Peterborough at home to Southend United. And I've gone the field in Rochdale Scunthorpe, 216.
Okay, let's look at the 10.
The 10, I've gone the field with Burundi versus Gabon. I've gone Switzerland win and draw at Georgia. I've banked Cameroon to beat the Comores. I've gone the field in the Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique, and Zambia and Namibia games. The second page, I've banked the Republic of Ireland to beat Gibraltar. I've banked Sweden to beat Romania. I've gone Ghana, win and draw at home against Kenya. And I've banked Italy and Spain, 216.
The 13, Budge.
Yeah, the 13, I've banked Sweden to beat Romania. I've banked Spain to beat Norway. Banked Italy to beat Finland. Likewise, Bosnia-Herzegovina to beat Armenia. I've gone with Greece to win in Liechtenstein. I've gone the field in the Malta-Faroe Islands clash. I've banked Coventry City to beat Oxford. The second page, I've gone Luton Town, win and draw at home against Doncaster Rovers. I've gone Peterborough, win and draw at home against Southampton. I've gone Portsmouth, win and draw at Shrewsbury Town. I've banked AFC Wimbledon to beat Gillingham. I've ended with the two fields, Bradford City against Blackpool and Burton Albion versus the smallest professional club in England, Accrington Stanley.
Smallest because of?
5,000 people, that's all the ground holes.
Wow.
And one of the founder members, or the guy...
Mr. Stanley?
No, it's the cricket commentator, the Lancashire boy. They always give him abuse.
Bubba, but what's his name?
Same guy. He's from Accrington. That's
David
his
Lloyd,
TV, David Lloyd. He's got a pub in Accrington. So,
okay,
so that's 360.
Bumble, what's his name?
Bumble's
Bumble.
his name, David Lloyd, yeah.
But
So
brilliant
that's-
commentator,
yeah.
brilliant character.
Humorous guy, yeah. So 367, the soccer 13, Paul.
Okay, Dokie, that's pretty good. Let's go on to my favourite part, Budge's best bets here.
Yeah,
Okay, tell me what you're going for.
Yeah,
here.
I've gone the European Championship, the qualification. I've gone Northern Ireland to beat Belarus. I've gone Sweden to beat Romania. I've gone Wales to beat Slovakia. And I've gone over 2.5 goals in the desperation match between Malta and the Faroe Islands. Our second bet is both teams to score European qualification. I've gone Hungary, Croatia, Israel, Austria. I've gone Malta, the Faroe Islands, and I've gone Slovenia versus Macedonia, 3,800 to 200.
Okay.
The CAF, I've gone the AFCON quartet. I've gone Benin to beat Togo. I've gone the Cape Verde to beat Lesotho. I've gone the DRC to beat Liberia by more than 1 goal. And I've gone Niger looking for an upset, win and draw at home against Egypt.
Liberia, there was a great player years ago.
Roger Weah.
Roger, wasn't he a great player?
One of the best.
Yeah.
Outstanding player. On to our AFCON, both teams to score quad. I've gone Guinea-Bissau versus Mozambique, Libya, South Africa, Zambia, Namibia, and Zimbabwe, Congo games, 2,300 to 200. Our League One quartet, I've gone AFC Wimbledon to beat Gillingham. I've gone Coventry to beat Oxford. And I've gone both teams to score in the Bradford, Blackpool, and Burton Albion, Accrington Stanley games, 3,200 to 200.
The Collis King.
Collis King, 6 on Exeter. I've gone AFC Wimbledon to beat Gillingham. I've gone Cadiz, the Spanish Segunda, the second division in Spain, to beat Cordoba. I've gone the Cape Verde to beat Lesotho. I've gone the DRC to beat Liberia. I've gone Spain to beat Norway, and Wales to beat Slovakia, 3,200.
Fantastic, Budge. Interesting football. And then let's have a look. Your best bets are flying, Budge. And this week you've gone for AFC Wimbledon to keep their run going.
Yeah, they won the last 3 in a row. They beat some good teams at home too. Teams just off the playoff.
Where
places.
are they playing?
So they're playing at home. Gillingham at home. So
12
to 10, Paul. Yeah.
And your value bet?
Paul, I looked at it. Not following the League One and League Two, it's hard to really go against some of the teams. So I've sided with Zambia.
Okay.
Yeah, Zambia at home against Namibia. They have a good home form, Paul. So Zambia's my play, 16 to 10.
Yeah, no, but as we said at the outset of the show, we like people to send in video clips.
Yeah.
And Ken Moby has sent us in, big Liverpool fan. We know we've got massive Liverpool fans. And here's the video clip we got from Ken Moby, who was at the Liverpool game. But
Milner, yeah, I chipped it. Yeah,
keeper went the right way.
Yeah, keeper went the right way. The ball went the wrong way. Yeah, but the only thing about the clips, we've had Man United who've lost the next 2 after the clip. I think Spurs lost the next one. So Liverpool fans, be careful.
Be careful. Yeah. But anybody, even as local soccer, it's good to have a clip. Just send the clip. That was a critical goal in the run-up for the title. Pressure goal, 1 all the time with Fulham. Boom, boom, 2-1, Milner. So thanks very much to Ken Moby. Liverpool through and through. Good football in his own right when he was out here.
Yeah, I played with Ken at Juventus for a season.
Yeah, a good player.
Lovely guy.
Loved his football. That wraps it up, Bud. So your best bets, AFC Wimbledon. Zambia is your value bet.
Yeah.
And next week we go back into
last one standing, Paul. Yeah. So everybody will get the WhatsApps, the teams they've used. So back to normal next week, Paul.
All right. Until next week, stay on side.